Hey. Oh, I'm feeling so good right now. I just finally learned how to infinite overdrive in Xenoblade X, beginning back into Xenosaga. Been playing a lot of Xenoblade recently. Boss Rush just came out in Dread. Like, I'm feeling good. And so every time I watch the Xenoblade 3 trailer, I always discover something new that I didn't see before. So this video is basically just going over the things that I missed in the trailer that maybe y'all missed as well. Because I watch this trailer at least like 30 times a day, okay? And this is like my 400th time watching this trailer. But yeah, basically the video just going over and rewatching the trailer and going over stuff that I missed. So, I mean, it's more Xenoblade content, so y'all can't be complaining. And actually, I'm uh I'm not gonna do this on YouTube because I kind of just got a new HDMI splitter and I'm still high off the hype of that, and I just want to use it as much as I can. And I don't know, it's just the whole process with like finicking with the controls and OBS or whatever. But yeah, yes, I made a whole entire bookmark list just for Xenoblade 3. Okay, leave me alone. The only other game that's like worthy of being even close to that is like Bayonetta 3 trailer, and I cannot wait for the Bayonetta 3 trailer or the game to come out. Oh, this game's gonna be so good. But yeah, we're basically just rewatching the trailer and just pointing out things that I missed. So let's actually go. And you notice this little theme that Noah is playing.
Fighting in order to live.
That's actually the main theme of the game, and that's like the little leitmotif of the flutes, obviously. But we hear the full version at the end when the title screen is actually revealed. So it's this part he just played plus the rest. So we'll hear that later on.
And living to fight.
Okay, right here. Something I also noticed is that these Kevis swords right here, the blue outline or whatever, kind of reminds me of Cosmos from Xenoblade 2. Like, obviously, that Cosmos isn't canon, but it looks, well, Cosmos and Telos actually, with they're like glass light things whenever they're in battle. Like, comes off of Cosmos's hips and I think Telos as well. But that's what that reminds me of.
That's the way of our world.
And right here is actually really interesting.
Ionios.
So this, see, I had like a whole thing going on about this. I thought, oh, this is a Mechon. And I was thinking, wait, so Kevis could be using Mechon and Iron Giants. And if, what's it called? If Kevis is using Mechon and Iron Giants, then maybe Agnes is using Iron Giants and like artifices. Okay, like, I don't know, it's just weird. Maybe, like, obviously this isn't going to happen, but it'd be cool to see it happen. Like, near the end of the game, Melia calls on, or like, uses Yaldabaoth to fight Nia, who's using Ion, and it's just like this giant clash, this giant fight of Yaldabaoth and Ion. That would be so dope to see. But looking, like, watching back this trailer a couple times, I'm starting to think that this is actually just an Iron Giant itself and not actually a Mechon. I'll explain more on it later because we'll see it later in the trailer and I'll expand on that more. And also known that clocks, there are a lot more clocks than I thought. You can see here on this Mechon or whatever, see that little blue light under its eyes, like its mouth area? That's its clock that's being filled. And every weapon, like all the protagonists, all our party members, all their weapons have clocks. And it seems like all the Iron Giants and everything also have clocks on it. And I'll point them out as we go. Right here, see? You can see Noah's clock. His is half full. and it seems like everybody's is half full. And a little theory is that once the clocks, well, it's not even a theory, it's like actually official. Once the clocks become all the way full, they form like an Ouroboros. And I'll put a picture up here of like Senna's hammer since it's the clearest to see. Once the clocks are all the way full, they form an Ouroboros. And that leads into so many other different theories that I'm just not going to get into right now. And obviously everyone, at least Noah and Mio, are wearing their respective like soldier attire. Like Noah right here is wearing the attire of a Kevis soldier, while Mio has her like blossom, little blossom jacket thing on, and you can see that yellow ring right there is also her clock. You see Senna there in the background.
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
It's kind of hard to see, but like the little in the middle, on the side of her hammer right there, that little middle part, that like gray bolt, on the other side is where Senna's clock is. I'm not sure where Lanz's clock is at.
Fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're.
Oh yeah, look, see, there's his clock right there in the middle of his, which is also halfway full. Seems like everyone's clock is halfway full.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You are.
And then, yeah, we know Zeke Van Dam or whoever that is.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you.
And I actually realized right here, this, I mean, I don't think it is, but this reminds me a lot of the World Tree, especially here on the left. You can see like it just looks like a giant fucking tree. And then down, I don't know if you can see it, I'll probably put like a circle or something around it, but right here it looks like one of the little horns of Gormott. So Gormott could be way back there in the background. And I don't know, if you just look at the background, you can see there's a lot of stuff there that I didn't realize at first. And like way over here on the very, very left, it looks like to see, it seems to look like, at first I thought it was the Makana sword, but that's way too small. But that could actually be like a part of that Kevis city, that Kevis capital, just like peeking up over the cliff. And it'll make more sense in a second once we actually see Kevis capital. But every time I watch this trailer, there's just new shit that I didn't notice the first time, and I start freaking out and getting just as hype as the initial watch. Oh, it's so good. And then here, Uni.
Try to move forwards again.
It's hard to see, but we'll be able to see her clock later on in a different scene. And then Tyon right there, you can see on his hand, that's where his clock is, because he uses these little I forgot what they're called, these little paper things. I forgot the name of them, but those are his weapons. And so he has like some special gloves on, and on his glove on his hand is that's where his clock is at.
They're his few.
Okay, and a lot of the areas I noticed seem to be a mix of areas from Xenoblade 1 and 2. So a lot of these areas are mixes between certain areas from the first two games. This obviously is a Bionis leg, and it could be a mix with Gormott, but I actually think this is just straight up full Bionis leg. If you look back here, you can see like the little cliff, like the overarching cliff that's in Bionis leg. So relative to where that's at, Noah right now could be on the outer thigh of the Bionis, because we know on the Bionis leg, we come out of Tephra Cave on the knee, and then we walk up onto Bionis leg. So that's like the upper thigh part of the Bionis. So this could be like the outer thigh of the Bionis leg where Noah is right here.
Sword march.
Here, and also Van Dam. I'm gonna just call him Van Dam from now on, because I think it's Van Dam, and we don't have any official, proof of who this is. So, Sword March. He said, "Sword March is the land pierced by a great sword." So this could be the name of a region in Ionios. or like back to Xenoblade X, the planet is called Mira, but each continent has their own name: Primordia, Silvalum, Caldros, Noctilum, and all that. So Oblivia. So maybe there are a bunch of different little regions or states, so to speak, in this. Think of it like a country, like the US, big country with all these different little states. It could be like this, or Ionios is like the big region, and then there's these little other smaller parts, and Sword March is just one of them. But here seems to be the fallen arm, not only because we see this type of, this grating right here, this metal grate that is on the fallen arm in Xenoblade 1, but actually where it actually is. And this area seems to be the fallen arm, but with the land, there's like land grown over it, almost as if the ocean like faded away, and from Xenoblade 1. And we see Araya right here, and this is very important because we can actually see Araya in a lot of different scenes, and a lot of areas we see from the trailer could actually be this one big area. So over here down in the bottom left corner, this kind of looks like an area we'll see later in the trailer that I will point out. But relative to this scene in the next one, it looks like noew is running atop one of the fingers of the fallen arm. And right here, this is like the little Gormat fin that I was talking about. So relative to where this is, that scene where we had Mio and noew, which look like they're by the world tree, would be way further back, like south relative to the screen from here. And we see the sword right here, which is to the left of, or I guess Araya's right side. So Araya could be, if we were to go like down and left from where noew is, we'd probably hit or see Araya. Or not even down, if he just kept walking straight forward, we would be able to see Araya. And this area right here kind of looks like a mix between obviously Gormat and, I guess, again, Bionis Leg. It reminds me a lot of the Danog region from Torna, because these little red plants or whatever, but Torna is kind of dead. So it's not Torna. So it's probably just Gormat.
My great sword.
Right here, this is one of the most important scenes actually. One thing I did notice, not only, I've already mentioned this before, but y'all could have forgot, but these trees right here kind of look like the fins or wings of Torna, like the little fire wings of Torna or whatever. But actually, collection points are no longer in Xenoblade 3, at least as far as we know. We going back to the little like blue dots from Xenoblade 1, because we can see over here on the right, there's this purple dot right here by the rock, and then these three little ones by the tree. And then we can see one way down here on the left. So it looks like the little collection spheres or whatever those are, the balls. Those are the new, items. But this frame tells a lot. Up on the top left right here, we can actually see the Araya fins. So that tells us that right here, the fallen arm, or at least where Mio is at, could be over here on the right side. You see this little canyon type thing over here on the right. That's where Mio could be running from the top down to the bottom. And actually, or she could be, I'm confused now, but okay, this is not at all how I thought it was. Mio is definitely somewhere over here, but we saw the Araya fins on the left, so she could be like somewhere further to the right and running down like towards the top of the screen, running that way.
The land pierced by a great sword.
And then Here we see the hidden Machina village is no longer there in the middle, and it seems like the little palm circle is smaller than it was in Xenoblade 1. That just could be because she's far away, but yeah, the hidden Machina village seems to be completely gone, and then there's a cave there, and it seems like the land actually started growing around the finger, started growing around the fallen arm, because all these rock formations and all this land was not here in Xenoblade 1. And in here, this is what I was talking about at the beginning. This Iron Giant could be that Mechon from the beginning. I thought this was a Mechon. I thought it was a Mechon. It could just be this Iron Giant here, because you see the eyes are similar, and then just the legs, I guess. And then if you look up there, you can see Araya and the Mechanic sword. So that means, I don't know why it glitches out like that. So that means that Iron Giant and lands could be somewhere north, somewhere up at the top, near like the, I'll put like markers or whatever so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Like around right here of this area, relative to where, you know, Araya and the Mechanic sword are at.
And pierced by a great sword.
And here, this is one of my most anticipated areas to explore. The one in the next frame is the one I want to explore the most, but right here, this like Kevis city, it just looks really, really cool. And maybe this is like where the Machina live, because it seems very Mechon, like Mechon-ish. So this is most definitely a Kevis city because it's so mechanical. But this could be like the Kevis capital, and then inside there is where Melly could be sitting at. I don't know. This doesn't really look like a giant castle. It just looks, if anything, that building right there looks like a town hall of some sort. And yeah, this is almost most definitely a city. This could just very well be the capital of Kevis. And actually, looking at the walls and everything kind of reminds me of Colony 9. Well, actually, this is a colony. What? This is a Kevis colony inside one of the Iron Giants. I now just realized that. Holy shit. So this is one of the Iron Giants that we're on top of. Or inside. That's actually really cool. I didn't even see what... Like I said, every time I watch this trailer, I discover something new. And it's so cool. But yeah, Senna is running through an Iron Giant right now. On the Kevis side of things. This area is my most anticipated area. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, I just really want to explore this area. I just love like water and like foresty type of environments, and I don't know, just with the giant, like the Iron Giant sitting there with a little cave behind it and just the water everywhere. This area just looks so cool. And this looks to be a mix between, again, Bionis Leg and Gourmet. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say for this scene, except for I really want to explore this area so bad. I just can't wait to explore all of Ionias. It's going to be actually legendary. Like actual legendary. So good. And then here we see Tyon walking towards one of the other colonies, but in Agnes this time, and we can see the clock on the Agnes Iron Giant. And it looks like Agnes side of Ionias is taking like a lot of Japanese inspiration. I don't know much about like Japanese architecture, but when I see all this, like the lamp over here with the little tassels hanging down, the little sign next to it, and like, I don't know, all of this kind of just reminds me of Japan. I mean, obviously, but it just reminds me a lot of Japan. This area right here is obviously like way up in the sky somewhere. And it could be like some Cauldros type stuff. Like this could be the heart of Kevis. And this giant, whatever the thing that is, this could be an Iron Giant itself. Or it could just be some like giant floating like floating fortress or something. Maybe that's like the castle or whatever where Melia resides in. I don't know. I don't know what this area is, and it looks so cool. It kind of reminds me of Cliffs of Mortha, but that's, you know, they're kind of gone now. So I'm not sure what this area is.
It's the real
This is obviously Magna Forest, and we see a quad wing back there, but this is most definitely Magna Forest.
enemy.
This right here, there's a couple things I want to mention. This is obviously, this seems to be a mix of Aerith Sea and Leftheria, and just like the overall environment looks a lot like it, because they're both like sandy beach type areas, which Earth Sea literally is like a giant beach, and then Leftheria has like little beaches on it, I guess, with the sand and the water. And this enemy right here, this big yellow enemy, kind of makes me think that they're bringing some X gameplay back. Maybe because this is obviously a tyrant. There's no way this is just a regular enemy. And if it is, then I would be terrified to see what an actual tyrant looks like. But this is just some regular enemy. Or no, this is a tyrant. Unique monster, tyrant. I prefer to call him tyrant from X because that just sounds cooler. But since it's so big, we might actually be able to target appendages. Like in Xenoblade X, we're able to target and destroy appendages. Hopefully we'll be able to do that here in Xenoblade 3, considering Xenoblade 3 is taking more of like an open world. Well, like all the Xenoblade games are open world, but Xenoblade X more focused on the exploration than the story. And it looks like Xenoblade 3 is obviously still focusing on story, but it looks like it's also going to lighten up on that and put a heavier focus on exploration. And yeah, maybe tyrants are back. Well, obviously tyrants are back, but in the form of unique monsters. Maybe they call them tyrants, who knows? But maybe we'll be able to target appendages and destroy them. Because we already have 4 party members, and Xenoblade X is the only Xeno game, like out of all of them, to do that. So they could be taking a lot of inspiration from X, and they might even be able, like, might even also like be working X2, Xenoblade X2 into Xenoblade 3. So like taking stuff from what an X2 would have been and putting it into Xenoblade 3. And then Xenoblade 3 will be like the wrap up of the entire series, not just Xenoblade, but Gears and Saga as well, since Xenoblade 3 is most likely going to be the episode 6 of Perfect Works, which is like the end of the timeline where the universe is being destroyed. I already made a whole video on how Xenoblade 3 is episode 6, but Xenoblade 3 could be the big wrap up of the entire Xeno series and not just Xenoblade. So they could be going all out on this and adding everything in, like stuff from X2, maybe some Xenosaga 4, 5, and 6 elements into this. I don't know. I'm just getting really hyped just thinking about it. This area is the same left area, like Earth Sea type area, and we also see some new enemies. These enemies look really cool, especially that yellow one sitting up on the on whatever that thing is, that yellow one, and with like multicolored fins. That looks like to be a Ignis, I think that, I don't know how it's pronounced, but those like lizard enemies from Xenoblade 1. That's what those could be, and that blue one looks to see, it seems to be brand new type of enemy. Also, I forgot to mention
enemy.
Tyon right here, bro. My man is like rocking them clean ass Tims. He got his off-white Timberlands on. Look at those, are just so clean. And Uni too. Like, I'm not gonna ignore her either. Look, her shoes are so, all the characters are just dripped out, especially Uni and Tyon. They're just dripped out, ready to just fuck some shit up, I swear. Here again, that Leftheria live theory, air sea type area. And it looks like this little area in the middle right here with the little arcing, whatever that is, reminds me a lot of that overarching like landmass in Xenoblade X. So just even more proof that they're borrowing a lot from X for Xenoblade 3 this time. And then over on the left over there, the little like web type pattern reminds me a lot of Sylvalum. So that could be Sylvalum way back in the events of Xenoblade 3. If like Ionios is Mira, then that could be like pre-X Sylvalum. And then over here on the right, all these little tentacles or whatever, I don't know what that is. That could be a tyrant. And if so, that thing is massive. But yeah, I'm just can never get enough of this trailer. This basic Iron Giant over here on the left, I didn't even notice till now. This looks like to be a joint for one of the fingers on the fallen arm. And if you look down here at the bottom in the way back, I see that looks like some kind of city. So that could be that Kevis colony, or that could be the Kevis capital itself. I don't know. I also don't know what this little mechanical white thing is right here.
Life is lost. I won't.
Now this area is always confusing. I know, like, for all the other areas I just explained, kind of have an idea of what those would be. I don't know what this area is. It could be like a mix of Araya and Sotoro Marsh. So this could actually be inside of Araya, because we haven't seen any area like this. And every time we see this area, it's dark. Like, it's never been dark or like nighttime in any area except here. So we could be inside the Araya Titan, and this is what it looks like on the inside, because Araya and Sotoro Marsh usually have like these dead trees, and then at night they come and flourish in these bright, just luminescent environments. And so this looks very Araya-esque type of area. So this could actually be inside the Araya Titan. So we could explore all like the land outside of Araya and inside Araya. So given that, we may actually be able to go to like Fonsamima too, and Garfont, and see how Fonsamima has changed from the events of 2 till now in Xenoblade 3. This could also be like the fallen arm, or like the area around the fallen arm. And yeah, right here on a Uni's her staff, right there, that purple light in the middle, that is her clock, and her clock is full, and you can see Ion's is as well. So when the clocks are filling up, they're like bluish, but when they're full and like form an Ouroboros, they turn purple. And Luxon kind of had his own little mini theory video about it when in his combat video, how he may have figured out the combat for Xenoblade 3. The party members each have their own like opposite. They have kind of have like a mirrored version of themselves in another party member. So Noah is a male Kevis citizen. Mio is a female Agnes citizen. Tyon's a male Agnes citizen. Uni's a female Kevis citizen. Like, I'm pretty sure you can see what I'm saying. Each party member has their like respective other gendered counterpart, and once they like link up somehow, they unlock or like fill up their clocks and unlock the power of the Ouroboros, which could just give them even more power than what they already have. I don't know. Go watch Luxon's video about that. I'll have that linked in the description. It's really trippy. Obviously, Napon. I forgot their names, but nothing too special about them right now. This seems to be also a colony, an Iron Giant colony. We can see in the back just all the black and blue. That is Kevis technology. So this could be the Kevis capital, and Iuni, I don't know, in the party could be like looking down at Melia. and talking to, I don't know, but this is almost definitely in Kevis where they are right now. And right here, in Iron Giant with its clock, it's green. And so the Kevis, their clocks would be blue, and then Agnes would be green, because Agnes kind of rocks like a green and white accent, or white with green accent, and then Kevis black with blue accent. And this area seems to be that one shot we saw with the uni way back here.
Not enemies now.
And it actually could be that same area, or like where we saw Iuni at.
Pierced by a great sword.
Right here. This could be that Iron Giant that Noah and Mio are fighting. It could be this Iron Giant, because we can see the waterfall right there behind it. And if we go back and look, there's a waterfall back there with some like trees up there. So this could be that little area they were at. And that Iron Giant could be this Iron Giant right here. And maybe only Iron Giants have flame clocks, while everyone else has like regular clocks, I guess. I don't know. That's theory speculation for theory videos. And then up here you can see just very faintly the fin of Araya up there. I don't know, I just love Mio. Something I actually noticed too. Melia and Nia both have like little designs on their masks. You see on Melia's forehead, I have no idea what that is, but that could be like maybe like the symbol of the Kevis government. I know Kevis has its own little symbol, but Melia has this weird marking or symbol on her forehead. And then her necklace too, that could just be some like no significance at all. But her forehead, that could mean something, because if we see here, Nia also has some like tiny little symbol on her forehead. And then I noticed those 3 little crystals on her head were like those 3 little crystals she was wearing on her chest in Xenoblade 2. Oh, there's just a lot in this trailer. It's so good. Oh, bro, every time I can't be trusted. I need to stop. Every time I watch this trailer, like my hype just comes back. And on the 3, that is the same symbol we see on the protagonist, like on Lance's chin or Uni's chest. That is the symbol that we see on them. I remember in like one of my first videos, I said that that was a different symbol. That's just because we can't really see the whole thing. It's like the right side of it is cut off, but that is that symbol. And if you notice, the main theme, the little motif was playing. I'm gonna like go back so y'all can compare it. This is from what Noah was playing.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight.
And then that leads into the big crescendo, but just you'll hear it. Just listen. and it finishes out with a little piano. The brum. It reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild, and it's really nice. I just love the use of piano in games, and it fits really really well with Breath of the Wild. So, I mean, oh, I swear, every time I watch this trailer, I just get so hype and just discover something new. And I even had a general idea of what I wanted to talk about in this video, but here I am discovering new shit here in this recording. It's, oh my god. I've never been this hyped for a game ever in my entire life. Like, nothing has even come close. Like, only thing that's close, that like is the closest to it, which is still far away, is Metroid Dread. Like, the anticipation for Dread is insane, because Metroid is like my second favorite game franchise, right behind Xeno. So when Metroid Dread was announced, I was ecstatic because we have like no games. We get a new Metroid game like every 3 decades. Okay, we needed all we could get. But yeah, it's amazing how I fucking, this time going through the trailer, I made it almost as long as my initial trailer reaction. I've been recording for like 36 minutes now, talking about a 2-minute trailer. God damn, what is wrong with me, bro? I love Xeno, but yeah, I was not expecting it to be this long. But yeah, I'm feeling really good and like extra into Xeno lately. So I'm gonna probably go and record some Xeno Saga like right after finishing this video. So I I don't know. I don't know. I might just make a video every time I discover something new in this trailer. And then who knows, that's gonna lead to more discoveries during that video, and it's just gonna be a whole like chain of hype Xenoblade 3 analysis videos. It's so weird. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this one. It was kind of all over the place because I was so excited and just couldn't get what I wanted to say out. But yeah, I might discover some more stuff in this trailer like next week. So I might drop like a things I missed in the trailer part 2 or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go record some Xenosaga. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Stay safe. Be well and play some goddamn Xenoblade.